Right guys, City 2, Swansea 1. Not a bad performance from the boys, especially when you think of all the changes that we made. Vinny coming in, so many young lads. Really positive performance. Stephen, what are your first thoughts?
Can I just say, Manchester United versus Manchester City in the next round? I cannot ignore that. That's just happened. That has just been made. If you haven't heard the news already, we're going to Old Trafford again to pull Jose's pants down and expose him. It's going to be great. That's what just happened. It's done, the 25th of October or the 26th.
Is that exactly what the League Cup needs, though? Because that is a blockbuster tie in the next round.
Can you honestly see us playing the kids again in that kind of game? No chance. I think they'll play maybe one or two, but that is the talking point from this, because that is a massive blockbuster game, as you said. I'm well excited already. Bring it on, I can't wait.
I mean, it's so up for it, but it's... let's talk about the kids, though, first. Let's talk about the game first. So, Garcia, you must be delighted. I mean, you're the man for your football. Garcia getting a goal, Diaz getting 20 minutes, even Tosin getting 5. Angelino played the first half.
Yeah, Aleix Garcia was excellent. I mean, in general, I've said it on Twitter, Guardiola's already done more for our academy in 9 games than Pellegrini did, in my opinion, in 3 years. That's not necessarily, some cynical dig at Pellegrini. It's just a fact. In general, Pellegrini was pretty poor at this stuff. And we've seen this £200 million academy, this massive considered investment, already starting to show what he could do in the hands of someone who knows how to use it. And these players are very good. Angelino looks a little bit ropey in central midfield. It's understandable. It's his first ever full start for Manchester City, his first ever full debut. And he was playing out of position. But after the second half, after he had a word with Guardiola, he looked a lot sharper. And then after that, Aleix Garcia in general was just excellent. He was cool as you like. And then the rest of them, Brahim getting on, my little man Brahim. He didn't get much of a touch. He played as a number 9, but he's not a number 9 in the slightest. But that 20 minutes for him, that is the biggest moment in his life so far. It's great.
It's just massive, isn't it? And it's well, like you say, it's something that maybe we didn't see as much as Pellegrini. and Pep just seems to appreciate the youth football. And Pep is only over 2 or 3 years or 4 years or whatever. It's going to seem giving that nod to the future of the club, isn't it?
Yeah, he knows the value of having a young lad come through the academy. It's exciting. There was genuinely a rush of excitement when Brahim stepped up on the sidelines, because people want to see someone who's been at City since a very young age, and seeing even a young man lad like Tosin Adarabioyo come on, it's great because they give you a buzz that you can't get from a £15 million signing, in my opinion. It's a different kind of buzz. It's one that where you know the player kind of gets it, that they connect to the club, and it's that whole discovering something new. And Guardiola understands that factor, and he understands as well. You can save yourself a lot of money. You can discover some gems from our academy. Save yourself God knows how much money. We could have paid 20 million for a player to be a backup midfielder, but instead we're going to use Aleix Garcia, and he'll be very good. Likewise, Angelino coming in tonight as a utility player, and once again we won, no damage done, players given experience. It's great.
Let's talk about the more experienced players then. Let's talk about Vincent Kompany, obviously, who we're not sure. Twitter is saying that he's injured. We were at the game, didn't see that at all. I thought he looked very, very solid for 90 minutes. Is that you watching a live stream of me talking to you now?
I'm trying to get the comments up. We've got the comments here, by the way, guys, so we can answer any questions and see what's discussed.
Well, look, so Vincent Kompany, I thought played 90 minutes. The stories that he might be injured coming off, that he hobbled off a little bit. You've got to remember that is sort of how Vincent Kompany walks anyway. And there's Clichy seems very positive about him. The City team bus is just there. And it's really, really interesting. There seems to be a little bit of a delay. There's still loads of City fans hanging on to see what's happening. You're seeing all the Swansea players come out behind us. Let's talk about the comments, what people saying.
In general, Clichy said he was okay, apparently. Kane there said that Clichy said he was just tired. It was his first game and he thinks he's all right. I'm sure Clichy's got to be positive in general, but you do have to hope that it is as simple as that. If I just played my first 90 minutes a long time, I'd probably be hobbling afterwards in general.
And let's talk about it. People have just joined us. City have been drawn against Manchester United in the next round. I'm going to be honest, I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I'm excited is the one thing, but also it's a big game. You're thinking Jose and Pep, will the egos get in the way of the youth football? They're probably going to play maybe not first team, but very strong sides. Is that a game that maybe we could do without?
Yeah, obviously, because we don't want it, but it is a blockbuster game, isn't it? A lot of people asking, Alex, what's your thoughts on the draw in general, personally? What's yours?
I mean, I think getting it, it's a big game. I think it's going to be really exciting, and when it happens, it's going to be awesome. I'm a really big fan of the League Cup. I think it's something for young players.
Look at the Tony Caballero moment last year.
Exactly. I think it's something for young players, and the quarterfinals, everyone takes it seriously. And I think I don't have any problem between August and December. Young predominantly English players. I know we had a lot of Spanish players tonight, but young, predominantly English players get a little bit of football. I've got no problem with that at all. And if you get to go to Wembley, why do people knock it? Let's play the first team. And you know what? United are they need it. They played a very strong side against Northampton tonight. We played
Alex is a major Northampton fan. He was texting him during it saying they scored against him on the play.
I've not seen it. I can't watch the highlights. My flatmate is a massive Northampton Town fan, and he reckons that the second and third goal were against the run of play against Northampton. It's amazing.
people saying who was your man of the match. Who was your man of the match?
I think there's a few to choose from. I thought Vinny was up there. To be fair, I've got to say, obviously Garcia got himself the goal. And
I'm going for Aleix Garcia, given the fact his first full. Obviously he started obviously against Chelsea last year, but once again he just slotted in. He's such a composed player, and to finish that comfortably and not look flustered, that takes a lot for any kid at that age. And I think he's got a big future in the game. He's very very technical, and to do that, given everything, company was great. But I personally would give it to the young lad because on a stage like that to do it and slot in seamlessly, that takes some doing.
Do you think the Pep effect at half time? Kevin De Bruyne came on. We were a different team first half to second half.
Yeah, in general, obviously we were a little bit nervous in the first half. In general, the players were kind of snatching at passes and so on, but he obviously had a word with them and he calmed them down. And that football for the first goal, it was good. That was one-touch passing, not quite at the level of the goal for Clichy the other day, but it was good football. And obviously, Clichy, goal machine.
Mate, Clichy, more goals than Pogba this year.
Down to that, mate.
Aleix Garcia, more goals than Pogba.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Pogba's a very good footballer, but Schadenfreude and all that. I cannot take joy in the fact that a man that we were told we would regret missing out is having a pretty poor season under a manager who probably doesn't know how to use it, in my opinion. But someone say, what do you think of the new kit there, Jack Lee? You're not a fan, are you?
I'm not a massive fan. I think we look a little bit like stewards, to be honest, in bright orange. But what about you?
Well, stewards, take control of things, don't they? And that's what we did. We like a giant can of Iron Brew, but I like Iron Brew, so I will take that. Joe said, thanks for sharing my Clichy dad pick. Joe, it's a great pick, mate. And there's your shout out, because that is so. You should be doing graphic design with that kind of work, because that was phenomenal stuff. Company, according to Ricey, there was holding his right hamstring when he slid before the final Swansea corner, walked straight off. Fingers crossed he's all right,
Yeah, definitely. But hopefully, I hope it isn't the end. Let's talk about that. I mean, Vincent Kompany is a good one. I thought he was solid tonight. Let's hope he is fit. Otamendi and Stones have been sublime. Stones looked a little bit... actually, to be honest, I say Stones looked solid. He did look solid. Stones played about 51-2s with Willie Caballero throughout that game. I don't know what's going on there.
He's become a senior member of the team, just like that. That says it all. The thing is, I was a little bit apprehensive about Stones. Not about Pep signing him, just about if he had the required intelligence or if he had the I guess the guts to come back from a pretty poor season. But what's telling already about John Stones is how much he's clearly valued by Guardiola. Guardiola clearly values his intelligence and what he brings, because he's always calling him over to sideline. I think we might be seeing a future captain here, don't you reckon?
I think he's got that in the bag, hasn't he? I think just how he's inspired tens of thousands of people across Manchester to buy cagoules alone.
He's cool as well, isn't he? John Stones, he's a beautiful man, and he looks pretty cool in that kit.
We've got a lot of beautiful men at the minute. Pep's a beautiful man. I think Vinny himself is
the coolest person I've ever seen. Aguero, Gundogan, Gabriel Jesus, John Stones. Why do we only sign cool bastards to Manchester City? Obviously, we've got two more here presenting for Manchester City's #1 fan channel, but it must be a thing.
That friend is how the video ends.
I want to see Tosin shut Ibra down, Calvin. I agree, mate. Tosin Adebayo pocketing Zlatan, that would be good. Any more questions?
Let's do one more question. Let's do one more good one. But to round up, if anyone has just joined us, City 2, Swansea 1. Pretty strong performance. We grew into the game. First half a little bit flat, but second and getting there. Job done. And in the next round, we have drawn Manchester United away at Old Trafford.
What's your take on it, Alex?
I think it's a massive game. It's something that we can get excited about. I think it's going to be blockbuster, like we keep saying. I think Sky are going to be all over that. It's a big game. Is it something that we need?
I'm taking over. What team would you play for this? Would you go for a full-strength team?
I think, well, we don't know what the full strength team is yet, but I think it's one that we've got so much depth that we can put a very strong side out. I would like to see Caballero, I think he's the cup goalkeeper, I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see an opportunity, those opportunities that have still been given to the Angelinos, and maybe start Angelo at left back, maybe throw Garcia in again, but equally we've got to play a little bit more.
Is it too big a game though to kind of throw caution to the wind and start these kids? Is it because this pride at stake, Manchester's pride here, and given the rivalry, is it too big a game to not play what would be perceived as our strongest team?
Yes and no. I mean, it is the League Cup, and I think even Jose will be looking at the league now and thinking of how many games they've already lost that maybe they need to guarantee some league form.
Cheap dig.
Not a cheap dig at all. I think that's similarly a fact. I think United will also be thinking which team that they play. I think we look at it, and also you say, is it too big a game? This is the thing that I look at, and Marcus Rashford and Clichy Iheanacho are both great examples of this, is that actually, as young lads, the excitement can only get to a certain level in terms of playing, like training with a professional team is very exciting and it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Playing for the professional team, even if it's a League Cup, playing in front of, I think the attendance was like 19,000 tonight. That is massive, you know, like you like Brahim is 17, playing in front of 17,000 people, that's enormous. Then you look at, so you've got all of those things going on, then they score their first goal, then they play in a league game and they're on telly, the excitement, and Rashford's played for England, Clichy's played for Nigeria. I think playing in a League Cup game against Manchester United, yes, that's a massive pressure, a massive excitement for those players. It's a massive opportunity, but also they've already peaked their excitement. It can't, you know, they're at a point where now they're playing for massive clubs in front of thousands of people. It can't get much better. And I know she's live. I've got for one.
It's great. I love it.
But you go, look, give him a game.
Yeah.
Like Angelino for 90 minutes is good enough to play against a Manchester United side. I'm putting out there. All right, maybe he's not ready for 38 games in a league season, but for 90 minutes. He is capable.
Do you know what? I agree. Look at that stadium there. That is the Liberty Stadium. That is a good stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, full of people there. And for someone like Brahim Diaz, he only turned 17 a month and a half ago. I was just getting my first part-time job at River Island when I was 16. I was there nervously going through life, and he's there playing in front of that, alongside international, alongside Vincent Company. How is that not valuable? He will go home tonight absolutely buzzing. And if Guardiola does show Aleix Garcia, Angelino, Adebayo, these, if he does stick with them again, how big a message is that for them?
Oh mate, it definitely is. It's a nod of approval. It's going to be really, really interesting whatever happens. I think, and even if he does play, you know, the first team, and we see it. But with Pep, you can never know what team he's going to play. You know, the way Kolarov will be playing centre forwards, and you know you'll have Aguero playing in goal. And
Navas at number 10.
Navas at number 10, man. I think even Pep after 20 minutes decided that was the wrong decision. But no, to be fair with Navas, I thought actually second half he was putting ball after ball after ball on a plate tonight, and you can't argue his commitment.
In general, Alex, 9 wins out of 9. How good is this at the moment? Sum it up for us. Guardiola, it's perfect, isn't it?
It's the best. It's the best. As a City fan, it's the best time in my life to be a City fan. And I mean, you know, after we won the league in 2012 and 2014, it was amazing. But in terms of that, going to games comfortable, that's never happened. When we played Scunthorpe, I remember playing them in the cup one day and still feeling nervous. And you know, Swansea are not, they're 15th in the league, they're not a bad side. And alright, they had a couple of chances early on, but we never looked at getting beaten. And I think you're looking and going 9 out of 9. But, you know, like, what's that? Because I think it's going to be 10 out of 10 on Saturday.
This is incredible. I think basically we're going to wrap it up there, boys. But at the moment, we cannot be happy as a fan base, can we? We've got everything we want. We've got a manager using these young players. We've got a manager making Kolarov, Navas, all these players useful. We've got him doing this. You've got him winning 9 games in a row. Life is pretty good. Blues, what you all make of it? I'm still watching Paul behind this camera, and I'm sure he's grinning behind the light there. Everything's pretty good. We're going to go home, have a beer and a piece of it. We'll go back to the hotel, and we're going to enjoy it. Get in the comments below, boys. Get subscribing. Just tapping away. Get liking the video. And we'll all see you soon for hopefully 10 out of 10.